What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and today we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning Artur Beterbiev. Guys, I've gotten a lot of requests to do this fighter, rightfully so. A lot of the statistics we're going to be going over today in this video is basically his roadmap, his opponent's win-loss record on the night that they fought him. Basically, his strength of schedule. That's what we're doing. The statistics behind his opponents. Is he fighting guys at his level? Is he fighting cans? And the question and the answer to both of those is no and no. And you'll see when we do these numbers, when we break down these stats. What we're going to do is go over the last 10 opponents dating back to Prito and finishing with that Callum Smith knockout. Before we get into that, let's talk about some of the statistics that we already know. In lieu of the alleged upcoming undisputed clash this June against Dmitry Bivol, we're going to be going over Beterbiev's roadmap. He is 20-0 with an impressive 20 knockouts. He is the first fighter that we've broken down to have a 100% knockout to win ratio. He is currently ranked number 2 light heavyweight in the world. He stands at 5'11" with a 73-inch reach. Beterbiev is 39 years old. He's an Orthodox fighter, lives in Canada, but was born in Russia. So everyone's excited about this alleged potential clash between Beterbiev and Bivol. It's your classic boxer versus slugger matchup. Beterbiev is definitely the slugger in this. And something about him that I really like is how he carries his power. He just doesn't have it early on. And we're going to talk about that going over these 10 fights. He carries that power late. I can't remember another guy who drowns somebody and finishes them late with such frequency like Beterbiev. If you go back to the Prito fight, just so everybody knows, on the night he fought Prito was 26-1. When we add these stats up, that's the record we're correlating, because after Prito got starched, he was 26-2. So this data, guys, is on the night that they fought Beterbiev. 10 fights to go. Prito, 26-1, knockout in the first. Kelling, 23-1, knockout in the 12th. Johnson, 17-0, knockout in the 4th. Kalachik, 24-1, knockout in the 8th. Vatschik, 17-0, knockout in the 10th. Danes, 19-1, knockout in the 10th. Brown, 24-1, knockout in the 9th. Joe Smith Jr., 28-3, knockout in the 2nd. Yard, 23-2, knockout in the 8th. Callum Smith, 29-1, knockout in the 7th. Let's grab our calculators, do some math. On the winning side, you add up all of his opponents. It equates to 230 wins with only 11 losses. So he not only has a perfect career knockout to win ratio, he also has a 95% strength of schedule over his last 10. He is fighting the best of the best at his division, and he's not just winning, he's finishing them. He is 10-0 in his last 10 knockouts. He's fought 2 undefeated fighters. And like I said earlier, he has that first round knockout 10 fights ago. 3 fights ago, he has a knockout in the 2nd, and then a few fights back, that knockout in the 4th. But listen to these stats. Knockout in the 12th, knockout in the 10th, knockout in the 10th, knockout in the 9th, knockout in the 8th, knockout in the 7th. That tells you something about his style. It tells you something about that weight class, because at 5'11", he's not a giant light heavyweight, but it's his power that frightens people. And when I look back at the last 10, a fight I want to dissect a bit closer is definitely 2 fights ago when he fought Anthony Yard. Yard was 23-2 going into that fight, and Beterbiev got him out of there via 8th round knockout. If you guys remember, Yard's corner stopped that fight. Let's take a closer look at that one. This fight took place back in January 2023. Fearsome WBO, WBC, and IBF light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev went to war with Anthony Yard in London. Yard actually ended up hurting Beterbiev in an impressive challenge, but ultimately the champion prevailed with a stoppage victory in the 8th round. That fight, Beterbiev defended and unified his WBC, WBO, and IBF light heavyweight titles. It was an 8th round stoppage, and some of the statistics about that fight, Yard came into that fight 23-2, and his whole position was to disrupt Beterbiev, and on sometimes he did. He stopped Beterbiev's pressure coming forward, and it was a war. The issue with that is Beterbiev's pace. If you can't keep up with that pace, you are going to drown. By the second round, he opened up in the second, leapt forward and landed a right uppercut on Beterbiev's head. Just at the end of the third, Beterbiev hurt Yard right back with a left hook. The champion sensed his advantage and blasted solid punches through the fourth round, sensing that he could get him out of there. But just as it looked like Yard was in trouble in the fifth, he punched his way out of it, as he often does. A big right hand forced Beterbiev to hold on for a moment. He was stunned. Guys, and if you rewind this fight and go look at that footage, Beterbiev was hurt. It's not like he's invincible. He is there to get hit with other big punchers. It's just, for some reason, his conditioning, his chin, and his volume are three variables that make him very scary. Yard landed a ferocious left hook and banged his way right in, connecting with force. But Beterbiev turned him back, trapped him on the ropes, and sent vicious combinations into his body. In the eighth round, Beterbiev found the finishing shots. He stunned Yard with a short right hand and put him up with a hook. Yard rose, but he was badly hurt, and the referee stepped in at 201, congruent with Yard's corner. Guys, this is a dangerous dude. He's not 20-0 with 20 knockouts for no reason. Let's hope that this fight gets made in June versus Bivol, because we'll get to see that classic boxer versus puncher matchup. If you guys want me to do one of your favorite fighters, a potential fight matchup, or a past fight and break down the statistics, just put all that stuff in the comment section below. Also, leave your guess. Who wins this fight, Beterbiev or Bivol?